mean everything to me because I know you mean everything to Christ. And Christ means everything to me.
I called on the Lord. I said, Father, this is real. Will you watch over it? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you call for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they don't follow the law, they doing it. You said under your house shine, they ought to love one another, and they doing it.
You get credit for being in class. We're gonna get started shortly. Bob Kushab.
So we here right now at this spot where the brother, where Rick Chow and his son ran Cyrus down. Naka one gonna run us through where it started and where it ended. All right, come on.
Kind of throw out the set. So this is a store where Cyrus was accused of stealing a bottle of water. And they chased him down from this store right here. This is where the chase started at. The boy ran out of his shoes. You understand? And the chase took place all the way down here. If you want to, we can take this little walk down here and see where the memorial, the actual shooting took place. It's like a car coming. You come on. You come on. So, from this store all the way down here to this memorial right here. Can I say? And once we get down there, you will see the memorial where they chased him at. He ran well over 100 yards from the store. You know, you would think at that time he done ran this far, you would give up chasing him over a bottle of water. You understand? Plus,
which accused him of. He never
right.
He put all the water back.
Right. And when he got down here, he turned around and stopped running because he ran so far. He turned around and put his hands up, and they still unalive. You understand? That devil been found not guilty.
So we still walking, and we ain't get to the spot as yet?
Yeah, it's right here. This is the spot right here where the brother was unalive at. So if y'all want to, we can walk over there, look at the memorial, let this car pass.
Hold on. Come on. Let's do quick. Come on.
Can I? And as you can see, this is where the brother ran right here, and he had his last moments. And you know, it's a shame that this devil did this, bro. Like, understand? We didn't ask we didn't ask him to come to the neighborhood and sell gas. He chose to come in our neighborhood and sell gas. And when you come in our neighborhood, all you're doing is unaliving our children.
That's right.
You understand? So, you know, this way he died at, you know, I'll let you take it from here.
And Israel, this is why we're saying we have from the white man. We have to separate all these other nations. We have to is for our kids. We gonna have this brother 100 or so yard. You understand? With a more back, with 2 Chinese men on his back. You understand? Rick Chow? Rick Chow was 80. Rick Chow couldn't run that to get to this young boy. The Rick Chow's son did it, it looked like. You understand? And now we're gonna have to mourn our sons. Time for us to stop mourning our sons, man. Like, time for these Chinese stores to go into their community. We should have our own communities, black men. You understand? Or else, you know what I mean? This is gonna be the same. You understand? This is gonna be it. Yeah, we'll talk to her. Come on, let's go talk to grandma. Hey, how you doing, miss? What's your name?
Doris. Cyrus Belton. I'm Cyrus' grandma.
Cyrus grandma, sorry for your losses. Your condolences. From Commander YAHANNA, the leader of the Israelite School and Universal Practical Knowledge, condolences to you and your family. You understand? We feel your pain, and we will not let his name die. You understand? We will not. We will not. All right? And these, we're South Carolina. Come on. Not to Zago. Yeah, I mean, this is one of your brothers here in South Carolina that Commander YAHANNA left. You understand? In charge of South Carolina. And we here, you need anything, you call our school. You know what I mean? And we'll see whatever we can do to help, you know what I mean, the family. You know what I mean? We'll see. You know, Commander YAHANNA is here. Send us here because he loves us. I feel your pain. And the mom, I heard the mom speak. I felt the pain of the mom. You know what I mean? That was evil. And America never give us justice. You are wrong long enough to know that what's the brother name? That got no, not Cyrus. Not Cyrus alone. Not Chow alone. All the black men that lost their lives. Trayvon Martin, Philando Castillo. We'll stay here from now until the rise, calling black men and sisters' name. It's time for you to stop. We can't have others coming into our community and treat like our young men. That's our future. That young man could have grown up to be a doctor, an engineer, but that's what they steal from us. You understand? They steal from us. With these men you see right here, brothers, Independence Day, to hell with Independence Day. We want justice for our brother, for all our brothers. You understand? Child is going to go home now and sleep in his bed and not blink an eye with his son. But we had to go home and cry and toss and turn, and then wake up the next day, back at it again, toss and turn. This happened in 2023, and we just hearing about it. We just hearing about it, meaning it. The mainstream media, they only put negative things about us, right? Now, when it comes to things like these, they wait for a time before they put it out. You understand? But now we hearing about it now, and where all the other nations, with the Palestinians now, right? With the Palestinians, where all the other nations now. When we crying, we had to cry for ourselves. But when they crying, they want us to come join them. Time for all that to stop. Time for all that to stop. South Carolina has been known to be a racist state to black people. Racist. You understand? We went down on the State Mall. We saw all those statues. Those statues are racist for racist men who hated black people. You understand? Who unalive black men and black families. And now, what, we should join with them? No. What we should do, we should separate from them, segregate from them. You understand? Spend our monies in our own stores. And if that store opens back up, it better be a black man in charge of it. Somebody in the community. You understand? If it ain't, they should tear it down. Tear it all the way down. You understand? Because we lost a brother here today. You know what I mean? I don't know any one of you all here right now. The first time I'm meeting you, of course, Grandma, and everybody else. But guess what? A man by the name of Commander YAHANNA said this. He don't know you, but because you're black, just like us, you mean something. And Cyrus means something to us. That's why we're here today. And we appreciate you taking the time out to speak to us. We'd love to speak to the mom, the family, and if we could, you know what I mean, just let her know. We'll love to.
They have so many engaged.
Yeah, I know.
So, tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
at my church, Bethlehem on North Main, East Smith Street.
Yes.
At 12 o'clock.
Yo, be there.
Doing a memorial for
What?
Cyrus.
Check.
Okay.
You want to sit right here or you want to
Okay.
sit
over there?
Come, you're welcome.
Thank you for inviting us, miss.
12 o'clock.
Thank
you
you.
got the mics?
Yeah, man.
All right. Should be good.
Baptist Church
on Eastman Street.
No, it's fine.
All right.
I just want to make sure everybody put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Bob Shaw, put a 1 in the chat. Y'all can hear me clearly.
Crazy. Like where was all the cops on them when before all of this? They wait till problems come then to show up. Like the cops, they for sure against us. But we have to make sure that we look out for one another. You understand? You have to. You know what I mean? Their system is based to separate us as a people.
The water.
You understand? But we're going to have to come back. That Bible is our constitution. See, these brothers, we live by it.
Right.
You understand? We read it, we live by it. And we care about one another. You understand? Right. Come, Lahab. Yeah. This is a Mexican, Issacharite. This is my brother too. Black and brown. You understand?
We're going to get started. I just want to show everybody the video real quick.
Like what they did to their kids also
going
too.
Down to Colombia this weekend with our brothers. And
America is going to pay for it. Chow and his family, they're going to pay for it. That's why America is going to go to war with China. And you don't send your sons to fight in no military.
Right.
You keep your sons home. We need our sons home to guard our people, to help our people. Let America go fight the wars. Now we're gonna sit back and watch them cry. We're gonna watch them cry. Now they're gonna feel the pain we feel when we lose our loved ones.
Right.
You understand? Don't join it. I don't care what anybody telling you. Do not join American military. America hates us.
That's right.
We fought in the Civil War. We fought in World War I, World War II.
Right.
And watch how they treated us. You understand? They unalive this young brother. They murdered this young brother. And we never got justice.
That's right.
But we'll cry unto the Lord for you, Grandma. What's your name, Grandma, again? Doris. We're going to cry for Miss Doris.
Miss Doris.
For his mother.
Right.
For Cyrus. I mean,
right.
We're going to beg and not go left. Nuts. So don't depend on him. And guess what he's waiting on us to do? He's waiting on us to go cheer up that store right there so he can lock us up or unalive us. More of us.
Right.
You understand? Don't give them that.
They are part out there.
Yes. We have to segregate, separate from them.
Separation.
Shop in our stores. Look for black people that have black businesses and give your money to them.
That's right.
They want our money, then they're going to have to respect us in our community.
That's right.
Or they get nothing. You understand? We can't go to Chinatown. How many black men you know have a business in Chinatown? None. You know any Chinese stores, any white man community? No. In our stores, taking our money. Well, they better respect us and our sons.
Right.
Or we'll spend no money in their stores. None. None whatsoever. You sisters do better nails than them Chinese anyhow.
Right.
You cook better than them Chinese anyhow.
Right.
You do everything.
Yeah. Come. Cap hitting it, man. Cap all over it. I don't know. What else you got to say, Darash? Right. Con. All right. So listen, I didn't go into the rest of the video. I want to get into class just to make sure we tawab. You got everything you need, brother? You got the mic. Right. Sis said, this is so sad. The child, they coming out of the country, using civil rights and have audacity to kill one of our children over water. Con, I want to go into that topic tonight, sis, and talk about the audacity of all the nations and how they view us. And you said something that's heavy. They come in our communities and you know, we spend our money with them. We give the other nations so much, and we get little in return. We get nothing in return. We get the crumbs of his empire in return. And oftentimes our people are left holding the bag with everything that's wrong in this country. We're the scapegoat, if I may. We're the black sheep, we're the redhead stepchild, we're the ones that are stuck holding all the negativity. And yet and still, we climb out of that negativity and we still shine better than everybody else on the face of the earth. Everything about us as Black, Hispanics, Native Indians is a miracle. No matter how hard or how many problems or how many shortcomings you have that you think you're just not enough, I'm here to tell you, according to the Bible, you are the greatest people that's on the face of the earth. You understand? We descend from the greatest nation of people that ever walked the face of the earth. Oftentimes we don't think about those things, or we don't consider those things because of our current situation. But also think about this. A lot of the things that we go through as a people, you know, we have to reflect on those things and do things better, do things different. If we're really sick and tired of the problems that we see in our communities, then we should be definitely fighting to change the culture in our communities. We should be holding the people that they say are in charge accountable for the things they do and what they don't do in our communities. That's why the I.S.U.P.K under Commander Junior YAHANNA, that's why we're in these streets. Commander Junior YAHANNA has sent us out on the missions to go get our brothers and sisters out of the conditions that we live in from day to day. You understand? And that's our job. It's not an easy job. And it's a job that nobody wants to do. No, I don't see many people signing up for the team when it looks like they're losing, Darash. How many people do you know that cheer on the losing team when all the other team have all-stars? They have all they glitz and glamour. You know, like you go to play a basketball game and you show up on the court and you see the other team show up with a large, say a big bus, a large entourage. They got on new uniforms. They got on nice shoes, nice sneakers. You know what I'm saying? They got cheerleaders, Darash. If you was on the sideline watching the other team show up to the gym, what would go through your mind? The logical thing would be that other team must be better than us. They must be prepared to play. Well, that's what's been happening to us as Black, Hispanics, Native Indians. We've fallen victim to the delusion that the other nations are better than us because they show up on buses, because they have cheerleaders, because they have nice uniforms, because they have nice shoes. But the one thing I know about all sports and entertainment, when it comes to really putting in that brick and doing it the right way, the championship is always given to the one who works the hardest, not the one who looks the best. The championship is given to the one that the Most High is with. You understand? And that's who we are. The Most High is with us when we're being obedient. But when we're not listening to what he said, we're definitely going to be down by 10 points, Darash. That does not mean that the game is what? The game ain't finished. The game is not over. The game ain't over. We're just in the first quarter. But if you're on the outside looking in, you would say what? That we don't have a chance. Because in our minds, we thinking that our victory will come in the same form as the oppressor victory. That's the physical victory. That they walk in with the uniform and the cheerleaders and the nice buses. They got a nice coach, Darash. He got on a 3-piece suit. He got an assistant coach and a athletic coach. They doing stretches. They doing warm-ups we ain't never seen before. But if you come from where I come from, we looking at it, we laughing at you. I can't wait to get you on the court, because when I get you on that court, I know there's nothing you can do with me. There is no coach, no bus, no cheerleaders, no plays that you're going to run that's going to beat me. That's how we got to think. No matter what we're facing in this empire, you got to know that the Most High is on your side. You got a coach that has never lost a game. They don't know that, Darash, because they don't open up this book and realize that our coach is the Most High power, and he's on our team and not theirs. You understand? See, they open up the book and the only thing they thinking about is white Jesus. And in their mind, there's no way that we can defeat white Jesus. But when you open up the book, you see who Christ really was. He was a black man from the tribe of Judah. You really understand who was his GM, who was the owner of the team. A lot of times you don't get a chance to know that. But we open up the book, we know who the owner of our team is. We know who made the contract. Oh, our forefathers laid down the covenant for us to win the game. We just got to step on the floor. That's all we got to do. And right now, we're learning how to step on the floor, man. I ain't want to get all the way into it. Salakia, I just, you know what I'm saying, warm. Make sure the mic work, Ross. You good? You good? I got you. I hear you. All right. So with that being said, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakathum to the Akim, the brothers. Shalom. Yahweh Shema Alathum by Hashem Yahshua to the sisters. I'm preaching officer of 5,000. Zion Ya'ala coming out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And we're going to be teaching the history class tonight. All over the nation of Israel, all throughout the United States of America. We'll be teaching classes tonight that go into history and talk about the history of Israel. A lot of times you sit down in Christian churches, you never really understand who the main characters are in the Bible. You understand? You learn some, you know, like the quote unquote things that the seminary schools want the preachers to preach on, but they don't know this scripture. They don't know this Bible the way we know the Bible. So we're going to go into it tonight, man. We're going to get, Lord willing, through the Spirit of Most High in Christ, I'll be able to teach this class tonight. And that's where we at. In 2026, there's nothing more important, nothing more imperative than us waking up to the truth of the Bible. And what is the truth? The truth is the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian are the lost children of the Lord. You understand? We belong to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. If you tuning into the class, this is your first time tuning into class, I want to say shalom, welcome, you know what I'm saying? Peace, you know what I'm saying? Check it into the class. And if you have any questions about what we go into tonight, please put it in the chat. I'll try to answer it. If I can't, you know what I'm saying, we'll be able to get to them later. And I'll do my research. I'll reach out to the men above me, and I'm sure I have an answer for you by the next class, all right? So we're going to get into it tonight. I want to go into a little something that came across my mind while we was down in Columbia, South Carolina. And I want to talk about persecution, judgment, and deliverance. Persecution, judgment, and deliverance. Oftentimes we're persecuted all over this land. Oftentimes we're judged all over this earth. But nobody really talk about the deliverance that's going to happen under the Most High power. We stuck thinking like, is this all we get, Darash? This the only thing that we got to offer. This is the only thing that we get as Black, Hispanics, Native Indians. That's it. And if you have that type of mindset, we're already defeated. We're already in our mind with our team. If you get discouraged because you see the big buses and the cheerleaders and the nice uniform and the shoes, if you lose this game mentally, it's going to be hard for you to fight. You come into this school, you put on the strength of the Lord, and you understand that we don't have any fear. You understand that you can look in the face of adversity and know that the Most High is with you. Can't be intimidated. And if you're not living in fear, then you can begin to fight. But if you're stuck in fear, you won't fight. You won't know how to fight. And that's why the system is designed to be oppressive. That's why these oppressors, these other nations consistently persecute us. I want to start in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64, Darash. Deuteronomy. You good? You got any questions, anything, Darash? You good?
Wow, sir.
All right, let's get it.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 64.
Go ahead.
The Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods,
Go ahead.
which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So you want to break it down from the top. Let's get it. So when we enter this verse, what's the first part of the verse, Darash?
It says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Now the Lord loves us, right?
Comic-Con.
Well, now why would he scatter us, Darash?
So when we read the book of Deuteronomy, we'll understand that we're God's chosen people. And the Most High God had wanted us to obey his commandments. There was a blessing for keeping his commandments.
Con says Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Con, go ahead.
And then there was a curse for disobeying his commandments.
That was a what now?
A curse
for
disobeying the Most High God.
Okay, go ahead.
So since we disobey the Most High God, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28, the Lord scattered thee among all people. So,
now, what does this mean to be scattered?
So he's scattering us, meaning there's different, the 12 tribes of Israel would consist of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who were scattered among all different nations of people, our enemies, which would be the Asians, the so-called oppressor, the white man, the African, and all other nations of people.
Go ahead. We were scattered all over the earth. Go ahead.
So the Lord scattered our people among all the other nations of people I just mentioned, from one end of the earth even until the other.
Now, what does this also let you know? That we were together. Like all the other nations aren't part of the nation of Israel. Like they tell us in the church, like they tell us everywhere. They tell us that we're all one nation under God, indivisible, with and what they say, with liberty and justice for all. Now we say we see that it's a lie because we don't get the justice at all, Darash. We don't even get considered to even obtain anything in your favor outside of sweat equity, right? So this also lets you know that, guess what? The idea of us all being together was never a thing according to the Bible and the Most High, right? So we were scattered amongst the other nations. Nations mean another word just for different families of the earth, right? Come on.
From the one end of the earth.
From one end of the earth, come on.
Even unto the other.
Even unto the other. So this means everywhere. We're everywhere. As black history, as the Lord, 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, we are everywhere. Like the first thing I learned and coming into this school, I thought, in my simple ass mind, I thought, we was only on, in the Americas. No, as much as they teach us history, Daraj, but you start learning about South America, North America. What are we talking about? When I say all over the world, I mean everywhere. England,
right?
Poland, like we're everywhere. We are everywhere. But even us being everywhere in other nations does not make us what? Those people. Even though our people may be scattered in Africa, just because you live in the land does not make you them people. You understand? Yeah, it don't make you an African. If you was born in the ocean, does that make you a fish? That's what I'm saying. Even if you lived in Australia, if you lived in the down under, in the outback, does that make you a damn Australian? We've been scattered. And if you do the history, you'll see that we was in Brazil. We was in Puerto Rico, DR, Haiti, all the other nations. We scattered amongst all of them. But just because we live on the land does not make us those people. That's one of the first lessons that you learn when you come through the school, right? So the Lord scattered us amongst all the other families in the earth. Go ahead.
And there thou shalt serve.
And you shall what?
And there thou shalt serve.
Go ahead.
Other gods.
We shall serve other gods. Now, what is those other gods? Are these real life living gods?
Made up.
So it's only one true living God, and that's the Most High. So these other gods are what?
Just false, made up, imaginary, or whatever they idolize these gods that they have in their mind to be.
And usually falls upon whatever the other nations are serving.
Oh God.
When you in servitude, oftentimes you end up serving what the other nations are. You end up praising that idol as your God because you're in servitude to those people, if that makes sense. You know, damn sure when we go that we've been in that church our lives and we look at white Jesus, do we think that's supposed to be for us? Like, but you're in servitude and you'll love the thing that your master love. You understand? And things like when you talk about other gods can also be what? Money, things, materialistic things. What else?
Celebrities.
Celebrities. What else? Entertainers.
Yourself.
You'll begin to serve yourself your birthdays because the other nation says it's okay for you to do it. You'll begin to serve those things instead of serving God, who says you should not do those things, right? Go ahead. So let's get further on into it. What are some of those things?
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Neither what?
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Now you go into that Christian church, they'll tell you the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are our forefathers. You hear it all the time. You go into the Christian church, but nobody ever tell you who is the God of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right, sis. She said the religions, yeah, those things become our gods when we go into the other nations. We begin to live under the other nations because we're being disobedient to our Father. All those things that we see in the earth, they become our gods because we look away. We turn away from our God, our power. Right? Read on, Darash.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Our covenant that was made, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our fathers didn't know the gods that we serve today. They knew who the Most High Power was. Right? Read on.
Even wood.
Even what?
Even wood.
Even wood. Come on.
And stone.
Now, let me ask y'all a question. If you tune into the class tonight, what would be the wood and the stone? What would be the wood? The sister said religion. So what would be the wood and the stone? You want to take it on?
Okay.
You sure?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So when it says even the wood and stone, what we got to think about today, and also back then, what would the wood and stone be considered? Well, let's think Christianity, right? They wore that wooden cross, or supposedly the wooden cross is supposed to be the symbol of Christianity, which is another God, which is Christ.
Right.
Stone, the Kabbalah stone, Islam,
right.
Other religions, they worship a rock. So when they say wood and stone, those are some of the idolization or objects which they consider or made a God or God associated with outside of the Most High God, Yahweh.
And remember, this was a prophecy that was given to the children of Israel.
Okay.
And here we are reading it today, right? In 2026. And guess what our people are doing, Darash? They're worshiping other gods and they're serving the wood and the stone. The wood would be the so-called what? Crucifix, right? Yeah. That wasn't the thing that was given to somebody that was something like special. They treated our king like a thief, like he was the number one mass aliver all over the goddamn globe. And that's how he was murdered for being a righteous man and telling that our people had to come out of the wicked and filth of the Roman Empire. And here we are, we got the nerves to put on damn dashikis and what else? What those things that they be wearing? When you go into Islam, what they call them things? I forgot what you call them. Call them. They put on dresses. Yeah. So Christianity and Islam were the thing that was already prophesied that said these things were going to happen because of our disobedience. This is history. So when you wonder why or how we get to this point that we are right now in the earth, these are the things that was set place because of our disobedience. You ever wonder why us and why we fall short of all the things that we say that we want in our community, all the changes that we want? One, because of Christianity. You thinking that you've been taught how to change your life, how to make your life better, but not knowing that you're separating yourself from the Most High Power. You don't want to, you say to hell with Christianity, ain't nothing in that church. So you know what you do because you despise the church? You go to Islam. You become a Muslim. Not knowing that the Lord don't have nothing to do with that either. Because we're not taught. Especially, you're not going to get taught because we live under another nation. Read on, Darash.
Verse 65.
Mm-hmm.
And among these nations.
Stop. That's it right there?
That was in the verse 64.
All right, that's good. All right, drop that. Let me get the book of it. Exodus chapter 1, verse 11. Mm-hmm. 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 Y'all have any questions about what we just went over? You know what I'm saying? You can ask questions that we'll get to it. So we about to go into like we talk about the persecution of Israel and the things that we face throughout the nation, throughout history, okay? So we can get a couple scriptures that go into that, Baba Kashar. Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Mm-hmm.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses.
Mm-hmm. So we want to break that down, Darash. Matter of fact, keep reading. Keep reading. They want to go back to. We're going to go all the way up to 14. Keep reading.
Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew.
Mm-hmm.
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
Go ahead. Verse 15.
And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew.
All right, stop. So let's start from the top. Let's break this thing down. What you looking at, the wording? Oh, we're going to get to it. So let's start from the top, verse 11. So I'm going to have you break it down. Go ahead.
Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens.
Now, we're talking about the children of Israel. Oftentimes, all we know is the 10 commandments, let my people go. But we don't understand how do we even get to that point of Moses coming back and saying, let my people go from what? Do we really understand what was happening? All we know in the movie is what they showed us in the movie, Darash. But do we really understand what was going on? So that's why we have to go into the Bible as a real reference to even, you know what I'm saying, to really understand the history of it. So we talk about the taskmasters. What are we talking about, Darash?
This is the Merriam-Webster's definition of taskmaster. One that imposes a task or burdens another with labor.
Now, who would you call that today? Now, we call them taskmasters back then. That's what the scripture says, right? So what would you call them today?
Your manager, your job, your boss, the person you report to every day that you go to your slave.
Your supervisor.
Oh, God.
Your supervisor can either make your life a safe haven or pure hell. You understand what I'm saying? But in that supervisor, and according to this, our supervisors, our taskmaster was our own people. And guess what they did? They did what in the scripture? What did the scripture say? They did what?
They did set over them taskmasters.
To do what?
To afflict them with their burdens.
How do you afflict somebody with their burdens? What does it mean to afflict someone with their burdens? What does that mean? Y'all in the class tonight, y'all use your fingers. What does it mean to afflict someone with your burdens, Baba Kashar? Come on. What you got?
This is the Merriam-Webster's definition of afflict. To cause pain.
To do what?
To cause pain.
To show love.
To cause pain.
No, to make your life easy.
To cause pain.
So you can get that white picket fence and the dog that you always wanted in your life.
To cause pain.
Go ahead.
Or suffering to distress so severely as to cause persistent suffering or anguish.
Now, it may not sound like it may not be one of these things that you go through, right? I create difficulty, damn right. So it may not be one of the things that you go through as on your slave. You may have the perfect slave. You may have the perfect taskmaster that gives you everything and let you have the all the days that you want off. But this is talking about us as a what, Darash?
As a nation of people.
As a nation of people. How many family and friends that you talk to and you realize, like, damn, what you do for a living? That what type of job? Damn, you gotta work 12-hour days, 7 days a week, just to make ends meet. How many, raise your hand if you know somebody has 2 jobs? Well, raise your hand if you know somebody that has a slave that is so burdensome they can't even raise their children. They're thinking about how to drop their children off at daycare just so they can get to work. They go to work to pay their daycare, Darash. And then once they get to the slave, the taskmaster is making their burdens what? Harder. They're looking at the goddamn clock when you walk through the door and waiting on you to be like, yeah. Let me see it. Let me see if Tyrone gonna be here on time today. He's waiting to give you write you up for any little thing that you do. But that's what's happened when we're disobedient to the Most High Power. You deal with a nation of people who hates you, that do not want you in the room with them. Anything that you get, they're trying to examine it to see, do you even deserve it? Now, is that a life that anybody that you would like to live? That's not the life that the Most High wants us to live. But yet and still, we sit around and think that because we have a nice job, or we shoot a basketball through a rim, or we run a football, or we some type of nurse or a doctor, we forget about the people that's in our nation who do not have what we have. That's why we have to go out and teach them. Don't forget about your people. See, you think that you made it and you move out there with the Chinaman and the white man, you don't have to deal with the problems that the everyday nigga got to deal with. Newsflash. We are all one nation. There is no escaping this thing. Because if you look down on us, who you're really looking down is on yourself. And that's the problem. That's a huge problem. That's why it's so easy to make our burdens even harder. Read on.
To afflict them with their burdens.
Go ahead.
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
They built what?
And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
Didn't we do that? Who built Washington D.C., Darash? Who designed? Who was the what you call it? The engineer, or who had the diagram or the blueprint to lay out D.C., Washington D.C.? Do you know?
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Yeah, but who specifically, if I may? Yeah, who designed D.C., the layout of D.C.? Who was the architect? That's the word I'm looking for. Who was the architect that designed D.C.? Baba Kashaw. Khan said, we built this country. Damn right. Who was the architect that laid out D.C.? This is history class. It's the only reason why I'm asking you. Other than that, I would just tell you. So these are going to be key things that you can teach whenever you go out and teach our people how important they are. What you got? I'm gonna hook this series up. soon as I get a chance tonight, I'm gonna hook this series up right here. Who's the main architect of Washington D.C.? Y'all can answer the question if you have if you're able to Google it at home. Who is the main architect of D.C.? What did it say? It's a black man. That ain't who I'm looking for. Oh, you can say who the black architect. I mean, it should pop up unless they just don't want you to have the answer. Yeah. There you go, Bunk. Y'all got it. What you got, Darash?
this is what AI says.
Did it say Benjamin Banneker?
Oh God.
All right, all right. So read it. Read what you got. So this lets you know when you talk about DC, Benjamin Banneker was a black, so-called black man, right? When they say we're not nothing, right? When they say we're just a bunch of monkeys or basketball players and yada yada yada, we don't understand how much we really giving over to the other nations, man. Read what you got.
I want to read what AI says because it's beneficial to how it kind of doesn't want to give our people credit for some of the things
Sure.
that goes into it. So I want to kind of
Please come on, share with the
So
people.
it says Washington D.C. features multiple celebrated black architects and historical figures who shaped the city's design and urban landscape. No single individual was the black architect of Washington, but key figures made major contributions.
I'm sure.
Benjamin Banneker.
Benjamin who?
Benjamin Banneker.
And anytime you read any type of ingredients on anything, and that's the first name, the first ingredient on the box, what does that mean? You ever heard this before?
It's probably one of the major.
It's the major ingredient in the box. So here it is, Benjamin Banneker, right? Go ahead.
A self-taught African American.
Do what? A self-what?
A self-taught African American.
No, he went to the Duke.
A self-taught African American.
Maybe Yale.
A self-taught African American.
Maybe Cambridge. Ain't what they say? I went to Cambridge. I was in the Navy yard. Huh? A self-taught. That's who we are. So when we talk about showing up to the game, you should show up in the game already ready to play ball because you already got it in you. We already have it in us. Read on, Daraj.
A self-taught African American mathematician, astronomer, and surveyor. He played a crucial role in the early development of Washington, D.C.
Stop. That's enough. What did Scripture say? We built who? What did Scripture say? And
they built.
And they did what?
And they built.
And they what?
And they built.
And Benjamin Banneker did what?
Built for Pharaoh treasure cities.
Yes, that's us. So the same skills that we have now that they give us no credit for, we was doing the same thing then for Pharaoh. That's persecution that we've dealt with because of our disobedience. Instead of us building our cities, our neighborhoods to be strong, our taskmasters and the affliction that is placed on our head, we're forced to build another nation city. We're forced to build everybody else up except for our neighborhoods. And that's why they make mockery about it. Man, what's going on in the black community? Why y'all ain't got nothing? Because we spend all our goddamn time being afflicted by the oppressors and the heathens to build their cities, Daraj, not our communities. That's the game. It's psychological warfare when they make us look down on what we have. And we're the ones that are building their things up to make them great. You look down on our Hispanic brothers, our Latino brothers, our Haitian brothers. They come here and build things with hands, Daraj. No special tools. Bubblegum and tape, nigga, build a house, huh? How do I know that? When we went out to Stagville up in Durham, they was putting damn 2-story buildings up with pegs, Daraj, pegs to hold wood together. And it's 2023 when we went, and the building is still there. No nails. No nails out. We're forced to build Pharaoh his treasure cities. We're forced to build Donald Trump his treasure cities. We're forced to build all these oppressors that treasure cities. They come into our neighborhoods. Yeah, we go and get their gas. We go and get their food, not knowing that when they go and build their homes, Daraj, them $1 million home that they go and build outside of our neighborhood, when we spend our dollar in their stores, we're building their communities. You understand? It's the same thing. Who rehabbed the Trump Towers? Go look it up. No, we know who built it. You got to look it up, not for class sake, for later lesson. Read on though. Who built for treasure cities? Go ahead.
Pithom and
Go ahead.
Pithom and Ramesses.
Go ahead.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
But the more they afflicted them.
But the what?
But the more they afflicted them. The more they multiplied and grew.
So what is this saying? Even though we are being persecuted, we're growing. I got brothers in this school. I got new nephews being born, seem like every day. Every day. I got new nieces that are seem like they've been born every day, Darash. Even though they tell us how hard it is and all these things, we're in this school and we only thinking about how great our lives can be if we're obedient to the Father. That's how we're growing. And we did the same thing then that we're doing now. Read on.
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
They were what?
And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
Why would it say they were grieved, Darash? Now, earlier it said we was afflicted with our burdens, but yet and still it said they were grieved from what? Because of the children of Israel. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Salakia. So that means, the other nations, even though they were afflicted, they were causing them trouble, trying to put the hardest workload on our people, they still were able to still multiply and grow, and the other nations couldn't understand it.
But why would that grieve them, though? Why would that grieve them?
Because they couldn't get rid of us. They couldn't destroy us. They couldn't break our spirits still.
But why would that grieve someone, though? You right what you're saying. Like they could not break our spirit. They couldn't destroy us. But why would that grieve someone? Why would that grieve someone? You right what you're saying, but why would that grieve someone?
Maybe because they can't understand it. Like this would break someone, the average person, but it's not breaking these people. Why isn't it breaking these people? Even though we're afflicting them, we're putting them on a harsh punishment, giving them all this, it's still not breaking them. This isn't normal for any other person to deal with this. This bothers me. This grieves me.
This grieves you. Why? You right what you're saying, but why would it grieve you though?
I guess I would say it would grieve me because I wouldn't be able to understand that affliction. If I was Pharaoh, that's why he was grieved.
Read the comment. Wait, can you see that from there? They said they worried what?
Worried we will become mightier than them.
Yeah. What you saying was right. But you know how much effort that they will put in so we never wake up to this true fact? I wish they would just go away. How many more rap songs do we have to get them for them to continue to unalive themselves? How many more guns do we need to drop off in the neighborhood so they continue to hurt themselves? How much more gentrification do I have to spend to destroy them? They're not going anywhere. I'm God, damn, you showed up work again? You ever seen them? What's that movie? You Ain't Quit Yet? What's the movie with Will Smith and his son? What's that movie with Will Smith and his son? He kept running. Yeah, he was trying to sell something, I guess computers or something. And they was amazed, like, damn, he did all that. He just finished the test and blah, 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 blah. I forgot the name of that damn movie. Oh, man. I can't. The Pursuit of Happiness. That's us. In this empire, the oppressor throws all type of curveballs and screwballs at you. We still figure it out. And not only when I say we figured out, I'm talking about that we still walk around and call ourselves Yashar Allah. Darash, you still want to be a righteous brother. Nigga, I got, they done put smoke shops all in your neighborhood, right around the corner. They got nice, bright lights. Matter of fact, we made it legal for you to smoke now. You understand? They have all type of murder stations. I call them murder stations. Planned Parenthood on our side of town. But yet and still, our people are still riding by those and making a decision to have their children out in this school. We're making a decision to be righteous and serve the Lord when we're seen by everybody else as being on the losing team. You showing up to class tonight, you logging in the class, you could be doing anything else. The oppressor would prefer you to be doing anything with your life. You understand what I'm saying? He don't want you to wake up to this truth. That's why the scripture says, let us deal wisely with them. Because if not, they're gonna join another nation. They're gonna be more mightier than us, stronger. The oppressor has set all type of traps. Divorce, that's a trap. The education system, that's a trap. The monetary system is a trap. These are all things that we're surrounded by day, but yet and still you show up to class with a Bible lot. Who's doing that on a Monday night when the game is coming on, Darash? Who's doing that when you got resources to do whatever that you want to do with your life? You're a grown ass adult. And here you are saying, "Con, sir." Because you understand how important it is to know who you are, to know what you're fighting for. When we read this history, we'll understand what we lost and what we can gain if we're obedient. We understand what we lost through our disobedience. We can understand what we can gain in our obedience. Read on, Darash.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse.
And because you show up to class and you walk into your slave, no matter what it is, you say, you know what? I need to figure out how to get off on Saturdays. You grieve them. When they don't spend all this goddamn money on fireworks and the Christmas party, and you say, I don't celebrate Christmas. Come on.
Salaki, sir, or they done brought you breakfast in the morning and all they had was pork, and you say, I don't eat pork.
Yeah. And what do they say after that?
What are you, Muslim?
Yeah. So that grievance that it's talking about is them trying to figure out a way to get you on their side, to get you to see the things that the way that they see it. You ever try to convince somebody or something? Man, the Cleveland Browns better than the Baltimore Ravens. Oh man. And so you get so vexed trying to convince somebody that to see the things that you see. You know what I'm saying? You trying to tell them to see the things that you see. Damn, you get vexed. You gonna understand that? Well, that's what you become, Darash. When we don't want to serve the other gods, we grieve the other nations out. Read on.
Verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor.
With what?
With rigor.
What does that rigor mean? Rigged. Rigged. You ever like know what it mean? Like the rig, you know what it mean to rig something? We say words like nigger rig, like rig some. What does it say to be the rig? What does it say? Rigor, come on. What does it mean with rigor?
This is the Merriam-Webster's definition of rigor.
Mm-hmm.
Harsh, inflexibility
Mm-hmm.
in opinion, temper, or judgment.
I want to say that inflexibility, right? You would have thought that young brother Cyrus would have had some type of flexibility. The minute that he opened up his bag and they seen that there wasn't any water in there, Darash, he put the water back. When we deal with these other nations, there is no flexibility, y'all. They don't give us the benefit of the doubt. That's why we have to give each other the benefit of the doubt. That's what we're fighting for. Nobody else is going to do it. You sitting there trying to figure out, well, if you better than this person, or you better than that sister, or you better than that brother. Nobody else is gonna give you no goddamn leeway. You going trying to beg for the oppressor with a smile in your degree or your diploma. He look at you as just another nigga. He trying to figure out how to make you serve. That what it means, Darash. You get all these accolades and all these courses and all these degrees, these diplomas, to be put in a position to better serve the other nations. We don't serve ourselves. What are your degrees support? Does it mean anything to me? I say great job. But that degree is for your oppressor to say, oh yeah, I got one that's extremely smart. He's going to increase my profit. He's going to make my business grow. And before long, you'll be in there busting your ass and you'll make all that money. And you'll look back and say, damn, I was serving with rigor. Because I may have made over $100,000, $200,000. And that's a great thing to have that type of money. But you work so damn hard, you can't even spend it out. You can't even enjoy it. And we think we're doing something good by sending our kids to these programs, and they get called black boys. Look at the little monkey boy. They're making fun of your kids when they walk. Yeah. So no matter if you serving with rigor at the lowest level, flipping burgers, washing cars, whatever it is, or you work for a Fortune 500 company, because we serve the other nations, it's the same thing. And all these things are happening because of our what? Disobedience. Read on.
Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor.
All their what, Darash?
All their service.
All their service, meaning if you got a Fortune 500 job, go ahead. All their service, if you flip burgers all goddamn day. All your service, when we deal with the other nations, go ahead.
Wherein they made them serve.
They made us serve. Everything that we did, they make, whether you believe it or not, you're serving. And you're serving with what? Read on.
Was with rigor.
And all this happened because of our what, Darash?
Our disobedience to the Most High.
Good job. Let me see. Let me go to the book of Exodus chapter 3, verse 7. Start at verse 6.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 3, verse 6. Moreover,
hold tight. Is it?
Check. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 6.
Go ahead.
Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob.
Go ahead.
And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God.
Go ahead.
Verse 7. The Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people.
I have surely seen what?
I have surely seen the affliction of my people.
Right. So the Most High, no matter what you think you're going through, all the persecution that you think you're going through, I have been through all the cops, all the unfair and the lack of justice that we've received in his empire. Don't think that the Most High is not paying attention. Don't think that he's not paying attention. Don't think that he's not on your side. And remember, the people that was in Egypt were those same people. We're those people. And it's the same way that you thinking that they were serving with brick and mortar and their lives was They was in servitude with much what, Darash?
Rigor.
And the same thing we're facing today as a nation of people. Don't forget that the Most High is looking at your affliction as well. He's watching you. But what moral compass or what moral standards do you have even in your affliction? Are you going to turn against your God and begin to serve the gods of what? Wood and stone? Or are you going to be obedient? Read on.
I have surely seen the affliction of my people.
Of who?
I have surely seen the affliction of my people.
Of my people. My people. That's the thing that we have to get through our mind. We have the only true living God, our power. Our God made a covenant with the Most High. That's why it started off in verse 6 with who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Our forefathers made a covenant with the Most High power when everybody else was doing the hell that they wanted to do. They were serving the other gods while our forefathers were figuring out how to serve the Lord, man. That's why he say, my people. We are being recognized in the scriptures as being the Lord's chosen people, so-called Black, Hispanics, Native Indians. Read on.
Which are in Egypt.
Which where?
Which are in Egypt.
Go ahead.
And have heard their cry.
Heard what?
And have heard their cry.
Sandra Bland.
And have heard their cry.
Tamir Rice.
And have heard their cry.
Cyrus.
And have heard their cry.
Come on, man. We talking about the loved ones that are left behind, that are having to deal with the things that we all deal with from day to day. As a nation of people, you may have lost a loved one that you're still struggling with just to be okay from day to day. That's a lot to deal with. And to know like our people were suffering, and what can you do to help them? Besides tell them it's going to be okay. That's enough to make you shake your goddamn head at. When you see somebody going through something, the only thing you can do is wrap your arms around them. But that's a different type of goddamn affliction, Darash. And it's Black, Hispanics, Native Indians. When we see the mourning of our people in the streets down in Columbia, South Carolina, brother, let me tell you something. All I want to do was just hug a few of them because they were so young, Darash. Little young boys that had no sense of direction. And you know who fought it is? That goddamn wood and that stone. That Christianity, that Islam, these religions, pastors that say that they're responsible, and yet they neglect their responsibilities, Darash. Give no solutions. So it take a man like Captain Nathot to go down and give up a small. It wasn't much, but we will receive, and people like, man, that makes a lot of damn sense. And we did it because we chose to listen to the scriptures. We chose to sit down and read the Bible and open our ears up and live by the word of the Lord. So when we start to teach, they be happy they want to sit at the feet of the prophets. That's why our lives have to mean more than just some goddamn slave. Because we go to the slave, you serving him. When you get that time off, what should you be doing? Serving your power. So when you go and say your prayers, the Most High can hear your cries. He can see you weep. He can hear your breath. The angels give a report back to the Lord like, I got him. I got her. I know what she's going through. Read.
And have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters.
By reason of what?
By reason of their taskmasters.
You think that person that's over you that's making your life hard, you don't think the Most High is with you on that? You think you serve the Most High? He don't deserve. We serve a real, true living power. The problem is, see, the thing that we want the Most High may not give it to you the way you think you should have it. Go ahead. Keep reading.
For I know their sorrows. Verse 8. And I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians.
Go ahead.
And to bring them up out of the land unto a good land, and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites.
Read on.
Verse 9. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me. And I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them.
Yeah. If the Lord was looking at us then, he's looking at us now. The Most High saw our suffering. He saw our suffering. We couldn't fight out of it, Darash. We couldn't shoot no weapons or get no ammo or arrows. How do we have to get up out of that, Darash? What did the scripture say? How were we able to escape? What did the Most High say he was going to do? We had to be what?
Obedient.
And we had to be obedient to be what?
Protected.
Delivered.
Delivered. Come on.
Some things are you gotta have a God and know that he's the one that got you out of it. That's our thing. You say you serve the Lord, you with all the, you with everything that he with. We'll see. We'll see. Let me see if you really about what you say you're about. Or you're just using nice words to convince yourself. Drop that out. Let's go to 2 Kings. We want to talk now. We talked about persecution, right? Let's talk about a little bit of captivity because of our disobedience. We talked about Egypt, right? Let's talk about Babylon. We get 2 Kings 25 and 8. Nope. Take that back. 2 Kings 17 and 6. Second Kings 17 and 6. Salaki, y'all got any question about anything that you hear tonight? Just put it in the chat. Salaki, I know it's kind of dry being a history class, it's history, so I'm saying. But that's the history class.
This is the book of 2 Kings.
Hold on, Daraj.
Let
me get that with you. Go ahead. I'm listening.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 6. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took.
Stop. Let's start at verse 1.
Verse 1.
Just kind of speed up the reading this a little bit for me, Papa Shaw.
Yes, sir. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
Right. So this is somebody who reigned over the nation of Israel, right? Read on.
Verse 2. And he did that which was evil.
And he did what?
And he did that which was evil.
Go ahead.
In the sight of the Lord.
And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. He was king and did evil in the sight of the Lord, but read on.
But not as the kings of Israel.
Now he may not have been as evil as the other kings of Israel. Nevertheless, evil is evil, right? There is no, I smoked cigarettes, and I ain't gay. No, brother, it's still a sin. Read on.
But not as the kings of Israel that were before him.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria.
Go ahead.
And Hoshea became his servant. and gave him presents.
Now let me ask you a question. Now, how did Hosea become a servant? Put it together. How did the other king come up against him, Naraj? Why did this happen? Take a wild gander at it. You already read it.
Captured.
No, I'm saying you already read. You already read it. Why this happened? Because of his.
Oh, he was being evil?
Yeah, because of his evil.
Yeah, evil is coming.
Yeah. How long you think you're gonna sit in any seat of the power that the Lord give you and you're an evil person? Read on.
Verse 4. Salakia. Verse 3. And Hosea became his servant and gave him presents. Verse 4. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hosea.
So let's find out what the conspiracy was. Go ahead.
For he had sent messengers to king of Egypt and brought no presents to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore, the king of Assyria shut him up.
So there you go. You sending presents to Egypt, but you're a servitude to me, right? Read on.
As he had done year by year. Therefore, the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison.
Now, y'all may not know this, and and they had a lot of evil things they were doing. The so-called Black Panther Party was, so helping the black community. But what they don't tell you about the Black Party, they were telling you about the Black Panther Party. They were telling you how they were reaching out to communist Russia to gain certain things from them. And they didn't know that the U.S., the FBI, and the CIA was tracking every single thing that they was doing. They infiltrated them with drugs, weapons, white girls, white men. And why? They were trying to serve somebody else other than America instead of serving God, man. You got some idiots out there thinking like, well, I ain't, I'm a more sign temple than such and such and such and such. That ain't how you gonna get out of this captivity. We got to be delivered out of this captivity, right? These oppressors know what you do behind closed doors. So the best thing you can do is be righteous. You don't want to serve this oppressor, so you go serve another oppressor. That's like them cats that they don't go to the Christian church, but they go to what? The wood and what, the rosh?
Stone.
The stone. But yet and still, they still criminals. You're a criminal in the Christian church, and you're a criminal in Islam. Read on.
Verse 5. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. Verse 6. In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in Salakia and in Habor by the river of Gazan.
Go ahead.
And in the cities of the Medes.
The Medes.
Verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God.
We did what?
Sinned against the Lord their God.
Go ahead.
Which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, for under the hand of the Salakia, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made.
Stop. Now, you read all of that. Now, what did you get out of it? From 1 through 8. Put it all together.
Kawakan. So what I've pretty much gathered is the Most High God had literally brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, brought them out of the captivity that they went, and they continued to still sin against the Most High. And we know that sin is a transgression of God's law. So they continued to be evil in the sight of the Lord. They continued to disobey the Most High God, even after he showed him his power and released them from their current bondage we read about.
All right. And they came out of the land of Egypt, right? And they went into the land of Canaan, owning to be what?
Become slaves again.
Servants again.
God.
We left one captivity and went into another one. You see why it's important for us to serve the Lord?
God.
Like, you sure? These are the things that the Christian pastor, when we talk about history, they don't understand these things. They just say that they say, what did they say about the Bible when you start reading books like 2 Kings and Genesis and Deuteronomy? What do they say about that?
People say about the Bible?
Yeah.
They say several things. That book was written by a white man.
No. I'm talking about these specific books that I just called out.
Oh, just those specific books?
2 Kings, Deuteronomy. Not those particular books, but I'm saying those for a reason. Deuteronomy, Exodus, Genesis.
What do people say about it?
Yeah.
That happened a long time ago.
Or they say that's in the what?
That's the Old Testament.
But the rules still apply. What is the rule?
The Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments have never went away.
And it's important that we be what?
Obedient to the Most High.
Yeah, you're right. They say that's the Old Testament, but the rules still apply. Because our God is still the same God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that made the covenant for the children. But if we don't understand this history of how important it is, then we won't understand what Christ was fighting for. Because what did our king have to read to really understand the importance of going to wake up our people or wake up his people? That's what Scripture say. For he shall save what, Daraj? His people. Because he read the same thing that we reading. That's why we said we go out in the spirit of Christ and trying to wake up our people. So we go through the history class, which some people don't like the history class. It's kind of dry. It's kind of, I know it. It's a lock you. You know what I'm saying? It's, But if you get anything out of these classes, especially tonight, it's about showing the persecution of God's chosen people. It's about when we're not being obedient, how we end up in certain captivities. How the Most High brings us out of one captivity. We do good for a little while, and then we do what? We go right back into it, Daraj. Let me get the book in 2nd Esdras, going right into it. Chapter 13, verse 40. You're going to say the same thing. 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40. In your Apocrypha.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of O'Shea,
The same thing.
the king.
Ahaz, but it said O'Shea the king, right? It's basically saying the same thing it said in 2 Kings 17, right?
God.
You're going to see it. We'll keep reading.
Whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
And that's the same king that was in chapter 7, 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 3, right? You see it, right?
God.
All right, keep reading.
And he carried them over the waters. And so came they into another land. Verse 41. But they took his counsel among themselves.
They did what?
But they took his counsel among themselves.
They took this counsel, go ahead.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Read on. Watch this.
Verse 42. That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Go ahead.
And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river.
Go ahead.
Verse 44.
Stop. Now, last week, I'm only going to ask you this because I know you study it. So we talk about the 10 tribes. Now, who would this be attributed to? Right. So this passage right here is talking about who? When they said, we're going to get the hell up out of here. Who is this talking about?
The 12 tribes of Israel?
It don't say 12 tribes right there.
Well,
You're right. It's talking about the 12 tribes, but it's talking about who now? This lets you know we were together as a people. Now, when you start reading verse 40, it says what?
Those are the 10 tribes.
Right. So what is this talking about now?
Those specific ones that were carried away prisoners.
And they came where? They got up out of there. And what did they come to? A land that no man have known, right?
Right. They went to a whole nother land and they dwelt there. And they decided to follow the heathens.
Read verse 45. See if you catch it.
Verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of 1.5 years. And the same region is called Arsareth.
You know what that is? I'm gonna ask you this because these things you have to have in your notes. All right. I mean, we in the class, and I know everybody watching, but we teaching, so you should have a pen and paper and pad so you can answer these questions. What are we talking about? What does it say? I'll wait for you, and you go get it. There's somebody in the class thought of Zion. Oh my Lord, you own it. Don't give it to him yet. Somebody own it. I'm trying to figure out who is that. Where you from? That's pretty good. What you got? You come up? Did it give it to you yet, DeRush?
Okay. According to Google, it says is a region and name mentioned in the apocalyptic text of 2nd Ezra, meaning another land or distant land, and its legendary hidden home of the 10 Salakia, the hidden home of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. The passage describes this land as Azareth, requiring a 1.5 year journey across the Euphrates River, which God miraculously parted for them to cross.
That's it. What you under? Go ahead.
I think also historical and cultural significance of that was Christopher Columbus, the explorer who studied, known to study the account,
studied our records,
Comic-Con, and 2nd Ezra, and referenced the concept of Azareth in his writings, fueling his theories in search for lands beyond the known world.
So stop. So what land you think he was looking for, DeRush?
Christopher Columbus?
I ain't say that. That's what it just said. I didn't say that. That what your Google search just said. What do you think? So what was that land? Oh, what did they tell us what Christopher Columbus was looking for?
He said he sailed the ocean blue
to find what?
Find the four corners of the earth. The earth was flatter. People.
To find who?
Or people.
Or to find a land, right?
Right.
And what land did they tell us that he found?
Where the natives were?
What they call it? Give me a name.
I don't remember.
No, brother. It's on.
It's about Azareth? Oh, Salakia.
Yeah, what is Azareth? Look on your screen. Your brothers and sisters helping you out in the class. What's that?
Oh, it's in the Old Testament.
No, what else?
Azareth. America.
Yeah, right. Give them a hand. So that land that they say that Christopher Columbus was looking for, America, right? So who else was he looking for, Darash?
Looking for America or other land? Or
No. Who else was he looking for? They read our records, so they knew the lands was here.
You looking for colored people?
Looking for who?
Those tribes.
Because those tribes said that what? What did they say?
They had people there. People were in that.
Verse
land.
41. What did they say?
Oh, Salakia. Verse 41. But they took his counsel.
But they took this counsel.
But they took his counsel.
This counsel
among themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
They leave who?
Leave the multitude of the heathen.
They were going to leave the heathen. Go ahead.
And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
So they read our history, You see that? So when you talk about Christopher Columbus, they didn't know who we were and where we went to. Nigga, they read our history, They read our records. You see how important that is? So when they talk about our people, the 10 tribes, like we went over last week, the difference between the northern tribe and the southern tribes and how they were separated because of our what? Disobedience, right, of our leadership. You see it now? You sure? Where your Zondervan at? I think it's in there, Zondervan, just to double down on it. You looking at it, you like the Rod's like, what the heck? I never seen that before. You never read that before? But you didn't know what it was contributed to, right? So now we know that's why we come to class. And that's why you got brothers and sisters that help you out online as well. You got it? Mm-hmm. You too up. Take your time. I know it sound kind of strange that we're going over it, but these are the things that are important that are in history that a lot of our people just don't know. You're not taught these things in the church. Most High in Christ. The water for attending the class. You know, oftentimes the history class kind of slow and it's, but it's a good thing because a lot of times we're not taught this history for us being a nation of people and how we end up in the oppression and the struggles from day to day. You find it? Mm-hmm. I don't have my big Bible dictionary. When you get a chance to look it up, just write it down in your notes, and then when you get home, you just go through it. You look at the concordance, it'll tell you everything that you need to know. But these are the things that your Christian pastor will not take the time out to sit down and tell you. You understand? So we talk about the importance. They'll tell you about Judah, but they don't tell you about nobody else. If you ask the so-called small hats, what do you think he would say about that verse you just read? He's never going to admit it out. They're never going to admit it, brother. So drop that. So you got a little bit of homework, all right? So next Monday we come back here, we can get to it, all right? So that's to us. So write that in your notes. Let me get the book of 2 Kings 25:8. God says the Apocrypha is something that the so-called the books that were taken out by the Roman Catholic Church, and the Apocrypha goes into it's the gap of what happened to us under the Romans. The book of Maccabees, Esdras, it gets all the way deep, sis. You know what I'm saying? The book of Tobit, Judith, the Wisdom of Solomon, the ecclesiastical texts, the book of Baruch. These are all like texts that go into like it kind of bridged the gap. You know, you go right into us falling in unto all the other nations. Then we wake up and I don't say wake up, but we go right into Matthew. So this kind of like that little bridge that kind of tells you like what happened in that time period while we were fleeing persecution from the Romans and what we lost and all the other nations, okay? All right, so Daraj, give me the book of Khan, sis. It's to what? Once you begin to read that, you'll really understand why we lost the name of being the children of Israel and why we stopped calling ourselves Jews. That was a time period that we were. I think I'm gonna get into some of that tonight. Matter of fact, we got a little bit of time. Let me get the book of 2 Kings. Ooh, yeah, let me get 2 Kings 25 and 8, Daraj. What you found? You found something?
I'm still trying.
No, you good. Just a little bit of homework. It's okay. We ain't had homework in a long time. It's okay. All right, what you got?
This the book of 2 Kings, chapter 25, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which is the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar,
Mm-hmm.
king of Babylon,
Mm-hmm.
came Nebuzaradan,
Mm-hmm.
captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon,
Mm-hmm.
unto Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
Verse 9, and he burnt the house of the Lord.
And they did what?
And he burnt the house of the
They
Lord.
burnt the houses of the Lord. Go ahead.
And the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and every great man's house burnt he with fire.
Once again, this is another captivity, right? And the same way that they burned our houses back then, the same way they burned Black Wall Street today, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, Seneca Village, like all the things that we built. When the other nations show up, you know why do they burn those things, Daraj?
Why do other nations burn our stuff?
Yeah.
To get rid of our history, to get rid of our identity, so they can try to get us not to exist anymore.
Yeah. So when you take away someone's home and you replace it, there's a generation that's going to lose it, and there's a generation that's never going to understand what happened. That's a generation that's going to live in the memory of what they used to have, Daraj, and they'll pass away.
They're still trying to do that now today.
Right. And what is that? What would that cause you to do?
What would that cause me to do?
Not you per se, but what would it cause our people to do?
Well, the effects of it causes people not to learn our history, so we won't be able to teach our young ones and our future kids about what it is and some of the great things that we've accomplished.
And they'll be more inclined to do what?
Take on the other customs
Yes.
or the other nations.
Yes. Because if we teach that the persecution and what they did to Christ on the crucifix, we teach our children that, they'll be less inclined to wear a cross on their neck or serve Islam or fall into Islamic culture. But if we don't say nothing, if only thing that they grow up knowing about is seeing a cross on your chest, what do they think is right, Daraj?
They think that wearing a cross is normal. That's what everybody does.
They're accustomed to doing it. Yeah, that's that wood and stone. That's why we went there first. You got to remember, a lot of the customs that you may have grown up doing, guess why you did it? Your birthday, you know why it was so easy for you to celebrate your birthday? It was always done. You know why you celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving? Because it was always done. You know why you pop fireworks on the 4th of July? Because it was always done. You know why we go into the Chinese stores and eat their chicken fried rice and their fried chicken wings? Because that's what we always see everybody else do. But not knowing that our people, we are the greatest on the face of the earth. Our sisters cook the best, they dress the best, they smell the best. But because of oppression, we don't have those resources like the other nations have. And it makes us look at it like, well, I might well go ahead and get down what they got going on, Daraj. Instead of getting with what the Lord says. And that's a decision, that's a conscious decision that we have to make. We got to look at, no matter what type of adversity that we face, we won't turn to the other God. We won't serve the other nations like these kings did, right? Read verse 10.
Verse 10. And all the army of the Chaldees that were with the captain of the guard break down the walls of Jerusalem.
They did what?
Break down the walls of Jerusalem.
Con, sis, you said it. They break the walls down so that we can forget who we are. They erase your history. Well, we go into the scriptures tonight just to even talk about Ashereth and what these, and they tell us that Christopher Columbus didn't know what he was looking for. They tell us that Christopher Columbus was looking for what, Darash? Spices. Nah, but he read our records and knew. Like, nah, the mothers, we got Judah, we got Levi and Benjamin. What the mother tribe said. Let's find out where they went to. Right?
Verse 11.
Stop. That's it. Let me get the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 1. This also in the Apocrypha as well. If you have a Bible app, what's the Bible app that we use all the time? Right? I forgot the name of it. You can, yeah, the Blue Bible has the no, I don't have the Apocrypha in it. Yeah, what's the name of the app? There's an app that has, you can, yeah, the KJV Bible. Make sure it's the KJV Bible. VA, know what it is? KJVA Bible. Yeah. Apocrypha, okay. If you look it up on your phone, it should, we use the app all the time, but you should be able to, now if you got an iPhone, I don't know about an iPhone. You may be in trouble. I'm just playing. But they should have it though. The book of Baruch, chapter 2.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 1. Therefore, the Lord hath made good his word, which he pronounced against us, and against our judges that judged Israel, and against our kings, and against our princes, and against the men of Israel and Judah. Verse 2, to bring upon us great plagues, such as never happened under the whole heaven, as it came to pass in Jerusalem, according to the things that were written in the law of Moses.
Then isn't that what we started at, Darash?
We
started at Deuteronomy, what, 28 and what? See if you remember.
64.
Right. And who said this? Did Moses say that? I'm just making sure. Read on.
Verse 3, that a man should eat the flesh of his own son and the flesh of his own daughter.
That's how down bad we were because of our disobedience. Read on.
Moreover, he hath delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and desolation among all the people round about, where the Lord had scattered them. Verse 5, thus we were cast down and not exalted, because we have sinned against the Lord our God, and have not been obedient unto his voice.
That we have not been what?
And have not been obedient unto his voice.
So put it all together. Everything you just read in the book of Baruch.
So pretty much kind of what we've been talking about. This is kind of going into judgment. So
yes,
the fact that the Most High God has already, like we said before, he let us out of Egypt, saved us from our oppressors, gave us a chance to be obedient. We turn around and do the same thing again. So here goes our people being punished for the disobedience, and they're receiving the plagues for disobedience.
And you said that magic word, which is what?
Judgment.
Thank you. You see that?
So
it's not a coincidence. It's not by happening while we live in the lives that we live in. This is judgment by the Lord. Because we've been disobedient. All this persecution that we receive, at some point, it'd be just like us, Taraj. We'll wake up and say, you know what, Salakia, there's something that I can't figure out, and what am I doing wrong with my life? And then one day you be walking by and you hear crazy niggas yelling on the side of the street. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And you say, wait a minute, the cat's crazy. You'll walk by us and you keep walking. But I don't know about all that. You know, I gotta buy my girl her Christmas gift. And we say, Christmas is find me Christmas in the Bible. And we'll read Jeremiah on you. You'll be like, damn, that's in the Bible. And guess what you'll do? You go flip into the Bible. And then before you know it, you'll be like, you know what? I think they was right. I know they was right. And you'll end up in class just like all of us did. Once that pain kick in enough, you'll start searching for answers out. Once the Lord put it, you know, when he know how to do it in a certain way for you to wake up and smell the coffee, if I may. Yeah. But then you got to be obedient to what he say. You can't come in here and half-ass it. If you seeing all the destruction that's in the earth, if you seeing all the distracity, you seeing how our people are being treated, and if you love them, and if you believe in brotherhood and sisterhood, you come in here and you change your life. Because you know that when you say your prayers to the Most High Power, and if you believe in what is written in these scriptures, you know this is the power that can change your life. This is the power that we serve, is the power that can change your life or in your life. But once you learn it, once you see this truth, you can't unsee it, Daraj. You can't close your eyes and be like, no, I want to go back. You know what I'm saying? I want to turn around and do something else with my life. That ain't how this thing works. When your eyes become open to this truth, you can't unsee the things that are deliberately done to the Black, Hispanics, Native Indians in our community. You can't not. Once you see the cops patrolling, you already know what they're coming for. You get it now. When you see the sisters shaking their ass on the television or in the strip club, now you get it. Because these things are designed for us to destroy our communities in one another. They don't want us to have any brotherhood, Daraj. They don't want us to have any sisterhood. They don't want us to understand our history. That's why they have to do what? Burn it down. That's why they have to hide it. That's why they have to cover it up and tell you God loves everybody. And when they say God loves everybody, guess what they're asking you to do? Well, God loves everybody. What are they essentially asking you to do when they tell you God loves everybody?
That's the slick way of saying that's back then. Don't worry about that now.
Don't worry about it.
Or don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Everything that you think is wrong, don't worry about it. Everything that you think you want to fix, don't worry about it. God loves everything. He loves everything. He's happy with you no matter what he do. And then what they say, the law is done away with. That's their way of saying, do what you want to do. You get it now? Right, yeah. Let me get the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 19. 34 and 19, the book of Psalms.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all.
The what? Read that again. Read it based on everything that we read tonight. Read it again. Read it. I want you to read it though, Daraj, please.
Khan. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous.
Now stop. Did we read about the afflictions earlier? Now, just because you know you may be going through something, don't mean that you're bad, like you just unrighteous. You understand? But because the Most High look at us as men, they what?
A whole nation.
A nation of people. And our people, we was afflicted in what? In Egypt. What about the Assyrians? Did we read about the Assyrian captivity? Then we read about what? The Babylonian captivity. We've been afflicted in all these captivities as a nation of people. Read on.
But the Lord delivereth him out of them all.
Now, what does this mean? What is the Lord saying here?
So even though you're going through all your afflictions, even if you have, as a nation of people, the Lord can deliver you out of it, out of all your afflictions, out of all the pain and suffering that you're going to. But as we read before, we know that requires obedience.
Mhm. Even in captivity, the Most High still made a covenant with our fathers.
God.
He still made the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob about how we would be his children. Remember this, Akim. All the captivities that we face in this land as a nation of people, all the things that happen to us, and oftentimes we see that our affliction will not end. He's like, we wake up, we become so numb to pain and hurt and not understanding what life is that a lot of us has given up. But these classes are designed for us to wake up and know that the Most High has not. What to read the last part, Raj?
But the Lord delivereth him out of them all.
The Most High deliver you out of it all. I started this class off earlier with talking about how we're on the basketball court and the team that we're playing against shows up with cheerleaders, with nice uniform, nice socks, nice jerseys, nice sneakers. They got a sound system. When they run out, the crowd cheers and the smokes and the lights go off, and they have all these theatrics. And these are theatrics that'll make you what, Darash? Why do they do that when you talk about a home game? Why do the home games have all the theatrics, even though they have a visiting team? Why do they do that?
It's a way to hype up the ones that they want to win, to kind of boost the spirits of the ones that they want to win.
Mm-hmm. And to boost one spirit, what do you got to do to the other one?
You got to put down the other.
You got to put down the other one out. That's this place. You understand? They boost the spirits of all the other heathens that are around us. They boost up themselves. They walk around proud all day, but the Most High is with us. So even though we seeing all the theatrics that are taking place in the earth, you got to know that you being on the court and the Most High with you, that you're going to win the game no matter what they do. But you got to be in the game. You can't sit on the goddamn sideline thinking something going to happen. You can't continue to play and be along with the other team. You can't be on that team. Even though they have the theatrics and the best jerseys and the nice shoes and the nice team bus and the private jets, you can't be on that team. You got to be on the team that they told you was done away with. You got to be on the team that they said should be forgotten about. You got to be on the Lord's team and know that his word is true. That no matter what we've been through, he has not forgot about the covenant that he made with our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You got to know that your GM, he got you covered. You got to know that the owner of the team got you covered. Even though your uniform may be a little ran down. Even though your shoes and socks may have holes in them. You got to know that you showing up on the court and the Most High being with you. Well, now you got to battle. And you understanding that by reading your history. It's in these books of the Bible. And understanding that you belong to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the greatest nation of people that ever walked the face of the earth. And with that, I'm going to turn the class over to preaching prophet of the Lord, the Rosh Hashanah. Y'all clap it up.
We're the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Roof a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're here. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation. The teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. upcoming holy convocations. We have the memorial blowing of trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month, which is Friday, September the 11th. And you can read about that in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. Also following that is the Day of Atonement, which is the 10th day of the 7th month, which will be on a Sunday, which is September the 20th of this year. You can also read about that in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 27 through 32. Mm-hmm. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, start wearing all boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that, amajim. Men of Israel are going to render one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shem, Yahushua, Brakatah, Yadmatah, Sar. We can turn to face the sisters. Sisters, Amajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel are going to render one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemal Athah B'Hashem Yahushua. Yadmatah, class dismissed. Good job. Good job, Bob. Good job.